So we are just about 2 weeks away from the presidential election.
Don't I know it?
How do you see things right now, generally?
So, I think that the Democrats have a better than 50-50 chance at the moment. I've seen some early voting data that seems to be promising, and I've also heard that, and there's quality polls that have released somewhat recently. I think the Washington Post one gave Harris a good national average. In Pennsylvania, they're doing pretty good. The problem, I hear that some right-wing pollsters are kind of flooding the zone with crap polls and making it harder to tell what information is reliable. And then you got all the doomers on Twitter talking about how like they can't be sure until the end. Let me find.
How do you think it's all going to play out?
I don't know. I kind of want to see more mail-in data. Because here's the other thing. You can't compare to 2020 with the early voting data because 2020 was pretty unique because Donald Trump pushed all the Republicans to not believe in COVID. So you have, and not to believe in mail-in voting because apparently it's got fraud or something. So mail-in votes were hugely Democratic in 2020, but you can't like interpolate that to this year. It doesn't make sense because this time Republicans are voting by mail.
Do you think Kamala has greater support or less support than Joe Biden did in 2020?
In 2020? I don't know. I think she definitely has better support than Biden does when he dropped out.
Gotcha. What issues matter most to you?
I think that women's rights to choose with their bodies is important. We can't have Trump controlling that. I think Trump's economic plans don't make sense. I think they're just going to make everything worse. Like, I read an article about how deporting all the illegal immigrants will actually do nothing but terrible things to the economy. I think I even have it somewhere here.
With Kamala Harris, what do you think her biggest strength as a candidate is?
I think she's charismatic. She clearly has a lot of energy to do this. She debates well, which is something that she does a lot better than Biden. I don't think she's pushing the black woman thing super hard because that didn't really work for Hillary.
What do you think Kamala's greatest weakness as a candidate is?
I don't know. I think I don't know. What do you think about that? Some people complain that her stance on Palestine is not great.
What's your opinion?
So, I don't know. I think that Israel has a skill issue when it comes to destroying military targets. And their government at the moment is not great. I don't agree with the people who say that we should destroy Israel or something like that, or stop giving them stuff to protect themselves against terrorists.
If you could see a policy change there with the United States to Israel, what would that be?
I think look, I haven't done much research into what kind of military aid the U.S. actually sends to Israel, but I think we could send defensive stuff more. Like, I know we sent the THAAD anti-missile system, and nobody's complaining about that because that's just how they stop Iranian ballistic missiles. But if we're selling like JDAMs to drop on buildings, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
With Donald Trump, what do you think Donald Trump's biggest strength is as a candidate?
I think he really resonates with people who just want something to be mad at. He's really good at convincing these people exactly what that is. Like, he finds a common enemy to get everyone mad about. And even if that's like a concept, he's going to end all wars because he thinks that's the biggest issue plaguing everything. even though the wars are like to deal with a legitimate problem. Like he claims that all our problems can be solved if we just don't send foreign aid and put America first. He claims that illegal immigrants are a problem, blah, blah, blah. He's good at convincing people that these are problems. And, yeah, I don't know.
What do you think Donald Trump's biggest weakness is as a candidate?
I think he is kind of losing his mind lately. Have you seen what he's been saying lately? He talked about, like, Arnold Palmer's penis at a rally.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't even know who that is.
Let me find something.
I'd like to ask you,
Yeah.
Coming up into this election, where are you going to be getting most of your information from?
I follow people on Twitter to get election information. I don't really watch like political pundits on YouTube much. I just think that's not a great way to get information.
Gotcha.
Because if you limit yourself to just a few people to listen to, it's not going to be super great.
We can wrap up with a little bit of a lighter note. What do you think about Trump McDonald's?
I think it was a really dumb stunt because it was all rehearsed in advance. They had the Secret Service vet everyone. People say people were rehearsing in their cars before the event. They closed the McDonald's for the day. It was planned. There was like a piece of paper on the door saying it would be closed on a certain day. And apparently he even like did the fries in the bag thing wrong. I'd have to look up more details, but people say they didn't even do a great job at that. And
Gotcha.
everyone's just completely clowning on it.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
McDonald's.